we are exceeding by far the thing. And actually the World Overshoot Day in 1970 was 1st of January, which means that within 1 year we were using, I don't know why it's not coming, show here, but this was, okay, 1st of January. So this was in 1970. Now, then it went up and up. And last year, or 2019, it was 29th of July already, which means by 29th of July, we used already the resources from the Earth, which are actually should reach for end of the year. So which means we lost already almost 5 months where we are really spoiling and overusing the supply from the Earth. And then, which is the calculation, it's the world, the bio capacity, WBC, divided by the world energy footprint and multiple by 365 days, which is then the Earth Overshoot Day. And this year, or last year, it was the 22nd of August. So, which means we are actually running out of time. We're moving, now it became a little bit later because in 2020, obviously a lot of factories and these things were shut down. So usually it will go further to June and May and these things, though only this year or last year, it jumped back to 22nd of August. But we need to reach actually again the 1st of January 1970, as of the 1st of January, so we have a balance. And this will be only achievable if we really do a drastic reduction in our demand, or not only in the demand, in the production, because actually we have an overproduction. So now let's come to the marine life as well. Is definition as per Wikipedia. This everybody can Google. So it's either marine life, sea life, or ocean life. So it's actually the level of marine life which is either in the ocean, and obviously we have different kind of waters. We have, for example, the open sea have usually the salty water, and then inland is actually as well the sweet water, which is very little compared to the salty water. And the ocean life, or the ocean itself, it's a big storage for CO2, and a lot of people are not really aware that whenever the Antarctic is melting or the Arctic ice is melting, that there will be a new emission will be released, because obviously the capacity of the storage for the carbon footprint or the CO2 is shrinking. So this is the sea life surrounding Hawa Island. So as said, it's already a kind of natural preserved resort or area, protected sanctuary for the sea life and the wildlife, the birds and these things. So it's quite colorful. And obviously this need to be maintained in order as well in the future to have attraction there for tourists to come. So it need to be very mindful handled. And this is actually the opposite. So I call it sea life, I call it the death at Bahrain. And this is actually what's happened as well on the shorelines. We have a lot of dead animals due to pollution, due to digestion or non-digestion or eating of plastic and non-digestive material. So pollution obviously is a problem when it comes to discharging of maybe toxic water or wastewater. So these are the two actually different sites where we need to make sure that we will at the end have this as a remains and not this one. So as well, there's a checklist for the sea life protection, which is actually then in combination to see when you have got a beach resort or a green resort at the shoreline with different kind of diving opportunities. So very important to mind the carbon footprint, and there should be actually a kind of calculation done, what I gave for example at the beginning. Once you have some trees, you have to chop them down or you have to relocate them. So just plant more new ones in order to really reduce your carbon footprint, maybe achieve a negative one. So plus reducing your energy consumption with different kind of technologies. You know, leaving the car at home, walking, have everything in the resort in walking distance, so where you actually don't really need energy to spend rather than only the human energy. Then as well, we have currently the problem, a lot of areas there's overfishing. It's just okay, more and more and more, which doesn't help in the long run. Even in Bahrain, they stopped the trawling fishing here, because trawling means you destroy the seabed. You will take a lot of fish which are not even for eating. You will destroy the corals. So we need to be mindful, and now the fishermen here, they were wanting it back because of their work, but if they continue like this the next 5 years, they will have nothing left. So it's better now to reduce it, to let the nature and the sea life recover, so then again you can do modest actually fishing in order really to have a sustainable food chain. And maybe everybody has in mind, okay, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. This was the thing when COVID broke out. And this is the same what we need to do actually with the sea life, with the wildlife. We need to flatten the curve so it will become quite sustainable, that there is a balance between what we need and the balance between what we take out from the sea or take out from the nature. This is very, very important. Third point, mentioned already by Kausa, use much fewer plastic products, because plastic at the end, unfortunately, because of its weight, always will be somehow floated in the ocean. Even though it's in the landfill, there's wind coming, the plastic bags, small bottles, small items, they just get blown, and at the end they will get stuck in the ocean or in the rivers. And there is a recommendation from my side. You should watch 2 movies. One is called The Plastic Ocean, and the other one is called The Plastic Nile. And these are 2 eye-opening movies, documentaries about the pollution of wherever you are in the world. You know, pollution is everywhere. Specifically, the water is everywhere. It has connection to every country, to every continent. So we need to really be mindful to use really not at all single-use items, single-use plastic products. Anything can be really reused, and we need to make a move towards reusable items like the stainless steel cutlery. I mentioned before the sterilization in the hospitals. Stainless steel cutlery is the most environmental friendly and the most hygiene item you can use for eating, because also the food tastes much better if you eat it with proper cutlery rather than the plastic stuff which is breaking, and then you have pieces in your food and these things. So I really highly recommend always don't use any kind or avoid any unnecessary use plastic items, which is really can be easily avoided, easily. So take some bags and these kind of stuff. Then do help take care of the beach. Now almost everywhere in the world you will not have clean beaches. So whatever is thrown somehow, somewhere, it will come back from the sea. Maybe people throw it in US and it will end up somewhere in the Gulf or at the African shoreline or in the North Sea, even the Mediterranean Sea. They have so much waste everywhere, and it's not mandatory that you throw it, but it came from somewhere through the streams, you know, through the ocean, the world rotation and these things. So the streams, they will bring the waste anywhere from anywhere, and mainly